All right, good evening, friends. Back here again. Do another video, and a couple of these. I'm going to crank some out. I'm not going to do my traditional watch and boots check. You can rest assured I've got a nice watch and nice boots on, and in pretty good spirits tonight. But this one I want to talk about. I've got an interesting meeting coming up with the Oncologist. I haven't met with them about my current situation. I've met with oncologists before because this is my third different independent type of cancer, and so I might share a little bit of that with you. Hopefully it's helpful if you're going through this, but I wanted to journalize kind of where I'm at in the process. Maybe it'll help me and I can go back and look and see, and we'll see how things change. I don't want to make it morbid, it's just kind of where it's at, maybe you'll find it interesting, maybe helpful. If not, move on to the other videos. So anyway, let's get this up here. And it's not lost on me the irony that I'm going to sit down and finish a cigar while talking to you about a meeting with an oncologist. But again, some of you may have watched my videos. I don't believe any of this has to do with cigars, but if it does, then it did. But as far as I know, they've not told me that. I've had 3 different types of cancers, and maybe that'll be a subject of a different video itself, sort of dealing with that. I just write down some thoughts, and as I'm able to share videos, I'll do so. But that is I guess it makes me a little bit unique. I'm sure I'm not the only one. There's other people going through things, but maybe it's helpful if I share mine. But so on Monday, coming up Monday, I'll have this meeting with the oncologist up at Cleveland Clinic, the Brain Tumor Center. And I've done some preparation for it. I think you should. If you're in this situation, it can feel overwhelming, but I've had so much support of family and friends that's really helpful. And I believe in the adage, take what you can use and leave the rest, right? A lot of people will want to give you advice, and if it's useful, take it. If it's not, you don't have to, and so that's one thing. The other thing is, everybody wants to pray for you, and I'm a firm believer in the power of prayer. It's helped in my life, and I know that it's a good thing. I've done videos on that, so you want to pray for me, I appreciate it. However, it's not one of those things too where I say that it is all in the hands of God, but God's hands work through people, and it's. I don't think that it's a faith thing, and I've talked about it. You can watch my video on how I know there is a God, and I talk a little more about that. But so this meeting with the oncologist, of course, I know that I have a pretty dire diagnosis, right? It's not a good one to have when you have been diagnosed with a glioblastoma, brain cancer. It's a terminal cancer. The life expectancy is not good. My dad died of it. My brother died of it. And as far as I know, at least the neurologist I met said there's no, this is not a curable situation. You can just check to make sure the video's on. But nonetheless, I'm alive today, and I've got life to live, and we're going to try to live it to the fullest. And I'm going to try to make some good decisions, what makes sense for me and the family and Lisa and my sisters and, the dogs, all those things. I'm a fighter, always been a fighter, but I'm a realist too, so I don't go about this saying, I'm going to beat this. I don't know how I'm going to beat this. None of it's going to get out of here alive, but I'm going to do my best to make good, informed decisions that leave me at peace. And I'm going to give myself the grace to make a mistake if I make the wrong choice, because sometimes we make wrong choices. So my time spent with the Jesuits, I learned a lot of things, and you make the decisions based upon the light that is before you, right? And sometimes you got to make decisions. It's like a ship out at sea, and it's dark and it's foggy, and you want to know which way to go. And you can see the light of the moon ahead. and you got to make that decision which way to go, and that's how we do life. We make those decisions. We try to make them informed and have other technology and research and that type of thing what we have, but at some point in our lives we just have to make decisions based upon the light that we have now, and give ourselves forgiveness for times when we maybe made the wrong decision, because we're human. So I'm going into this with the idea that they may talk about some treatment options, and I did a little bit of research. I'll listen to them more. I don't think the median life expectancy is great with this type of cancer. It's somewhere in the 8-month range. Again, they may tell me different. This is just stuff I read from some, renowned hospitals and so forth. One of the troubling things about it is that, at least, again, a little bit I read, that those who go through chemo and radiation while undergoing this, it really only added maybe a couple of months to their life. So that's a big factor, right? I have to see what's the benefit of doing that, in the quality of life. Now they may, again, tell me something different. But, that's something in my mind that I'm going to ask questions about, right? And see, because right now, my quality of life is pretty good. Obviously, I'm doing videos. I'm fairly coherent, I guess, and that's a good thing. And I have a lot of pressure in my brain, the glioblastoma. They're giving me steroids, so they're trying to shrink that pressure. And I got some mild headaches. I have a little bit of confusion at times, and I have spatial awareness issues, finding where the chair is, and a little bit of blindness that I don't always recognize. So those are things, but overall, those are not big deal. It's a big deal if I had to keep working because of all of that, and I don't think that's possible. And we got disability pending, and we'll see what happens with all that. But I like, the point of it is that I like having my cognition. That's very important to me. As long as I can, I would balance out, take some pain and discomfort if I could get continue to have cognition, to a point. So that's something I'm going to talk about. Like, if I do this treatment, if they offer me chemo radiation, what is the impact going to be on my cognitive functioning? And so that's an important factor. They really didn't talk about removal. There's this gamma knife process that they use sometimes with some brain tumors to cut out part of it. And initially it told me I'm not really eligible for that because of the size of the tumor and where it's located. So I'm not expecting that to be an option. And that's okay, because my father had glioblastoma, and he had a surgery afterward. And before the surgery, he was pretty cognizant and pretty functional. He was much older than I was when he got this, but after the surgery, he was paralyzed on one side and really didn't walk on his own again after that, and had some short-term memory issues and all that. So that, if they tell me that's a risk, if that even type of surgery is an option, that may be a drawback, because I don't want to, again, live in that. It's not worth it for a couple extra months to live that way versus having cognition and a little bit of pain, and maybe 2 months shorter, But again, those are kind of questions that I have to go in and ask. Clinical trials, my sister and other people have said, well, there's clinical trials and there's all kinds of medication. Medicine is expanding every day, and different ideas are out there. So I'm open to hearing about those. But again, on the idea of what are the risks, what are the benefits, and see what they have to say with that. Other things, other herbal remedies. Are there things that I can do to ease my pressure? medicinal remedies that don't include poisons like chemo and radiation, and I got some friends and family members who've talked to me about some of those. I really don't have an interest in getting high. I've been sober for 12 years continuously, and before that for quite some time. And I enjoy a sober frame of mind. I enjoy the idea that I'm present, can be present. Again, as far as we know, we only have one life, so I'd like to be present during it and experience what life has to offer. The good, the bad, the ugly sometimes. Hopefully not too often in that bad and ugly spot, but we'll see. So that's important to me to not be drugged up. Now, I'm not, I'm not addicted to pain by any means, so I'm not looking forward to a lot of pain, but I can endure some pain, and we'll see. So it's all kind of a balancing act. So those are things going through my mind. Now, another thing I will say, because I've done this before, not with brain cancer, but I had liver cancer. I got a transplant successfully. Cancer was removed, and I had colon cancer. That was my first one, and I had a colon resection and underwent chemotherapy for that. All those were very tough, but I made it through. So it's interesting, when you go and you meet with the oncologist, family members want to go with you and they want to talk and give their opinion, and they're impacted. So I'm not saying they don't have a voice, but ultimately it's going to be my decision as long as I'm capable of making it. And so I caution you, if anybody's gone through this, be careful how many people you have there, because there's only so much time to talk to the doctor, and you can only hear so many voices in the room, and the patient voice is the most important voice. And I relate this to the practice of law to some extent. When I meet with clients, sometimes they want to bring their family or significant others in too, and on occasion that's okay, because whatever they're going through, may impact those folks. But I need to hear from the client, right? And that's the way I think in this situation, the doctor needs to hear from me, and I can't have too many voices in the room that are asking a bunch of questions, because just like a lawyer, at some point you're like, hey, I got to move on here. We only got so much time, and I got things that I got to get to and get this information. And so if you have too many people in the room, the voices get crowded, and your voice may not get heard, and they may ask questions that you don't care about as much. So I have to be careful how many people are going to go up. I think a few will go up. So get trusted people that will allow you to express your opinion, and that they will also guide you if you're missing something, because it's an emotional time. And so when you meet with an oncologist, you might not be thinking totally clearly, and so it is good to have people there in your corner who can speak for you if you forget something or miss something important because of the stress that you're in. So all of that, being prepared, I think it is important to be emotionally prepared for this day. And so hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep. I'll have contact with friends and family. Some of the hardest ones, right, when life hits us unprepared, we get news. And doctors are not always that great. Some have good bedside manner, some don't. And so be prepared for that, because you don't know how that's going to go and how that's going to hit you. I've had experiences in the past where doctors were really great at it, and other times they were not great at it. And some doctors, I think rightfully so, need to be honest and sometimes need to be blunt, but how they do it, many of them are just that's not their forte. And so I've had some doctors come in and tell me, you're going to die, get your affairs in order. And another doctor say, this liver cancer you have is going to kill you, it's fatal, you're going to die, you get 6 months to live. And it hits you, and breaks you down. So I'm somewhat better prepared, I think, for this one than some of the ones I've had in the past. But it'll depend. And I've heard the doctor I'm going to go see is very compassionate, very good. Coworker of mine, unfortunately, had this happen to his mother, and met with the same doctor. So I think it'll be okay there, but you have to be kind of prepared for the fact that they may not be that great at their bedside manners. Some maybe, some may not. Second opinions. Always good to get second opinions. I believe that. It's stressful. It's hard. You don't want to do it. But I've done it before, and it's been helpful. I do think there's a benefit in going to reputable healthcare providers. I believe in the team approach. So I like the fact that I'm at Cleveland Clinic, one of the best hospitals in the world. And they do it by a team approach, not just one doctor making the decision. And I've been to independent oncologists before where they kind of run the show. It's their center. And I'm a believer in the team approach rather than the God conscious, the God. Some doctors think they're God, right? And so they don't need other doctors to consult or to be part of a team. And I think that can be a little dangerous. So, I'm intentionally not doing that. So, what else? Getting there. Got to arrange transportation. I can't drive right now. Don't think I'll probably ever drive, but remains to be seen, Lisa, I know. But, have that set up, obviously. Be with people that will comfort you. So I think I've got that set up. And enjoy life. Fuck. I gone up to Cleveland Clinic many times, different treatments and stuff. I mean, if you got to do that haul, it's a little more than an hour and a half or so from here. Plan something. Do something fun, too. I mean, this sucks, right? But make the most of it. There's stuff up there that's fun to do, especially getting a good meal. I often went to Cleveland's got some really great delis, corned beef Reubens. Maybe we'll make it a point to go to Danny's Deli or Slyman's. While we're up there, Little Italy's up there. Got great bakeries, great Italian food. So, even though it's going to be, not a great thing to go to, find something fun in it. You're up there. Spend your time. Cleveland also has an amazing free art museum. Now, I'm not up to the energy level and balance probably to go walk around the art museum, but maybe, it's there. It's free. They got a botanical garden, so it's really cool. Right there by the clinic. And so try to make some arrangements. I know a lot of people go up and do treatments and stuff, and they just go and come back, and it's horrible. I mean, add something to it that is fun, because, it's life, right? We want to do that. What else? Have a cigar ready afterwards. And be willing to take it in. Prayer and meditation, very important. So I don't have to make an immediate decision when I go there. I can let it. I can meditate on it later. Think about it. Take it in. Give myself time to do that. Keep myself in a good spiritual place, because it could be a tough one. So all of those things are what's going on in my head. Luckily, other things are not that big of an issue. I've got really good health insurance benefits. I'm still employed, although on leave. So it's not going to be a financial issue. I got a high deductible medical plan, but thankfully with a couple of weeks I've had, I think I've met it. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. So I don't have to worry too much financially, right now anyway. Um, Emotionally prepared for others that'll be with me. I mean, I can only control what I can control. I can try to be good and be there with them and let them have a voice, but I can't control other people, so I don't know how they're gonna react. So, gonna use that to judge who you take with you. And then, what do you do after you get the news? Who are you going to talk to? That type of thing. And I think that's pretty well lined up for me. So those are my thoughts about the upcoming meeting with the oncology team at the Brain Tumor Center at Cleveland Clinic. So I will, God willing, I'll keep you posted, and hopefully we'll smoke some more cigars, and I'll give you an update on my journey, and we'll see. And if nothing else, hopefully maybe some of you get something out of it. Maybe I got something out of it. It's therapeutic to talk about it, even though in this virtual realm. Talk to other friends about it, or if they want to know what I'm thinking, watch my YouTube video. Here's what's going on. So, we'll continue to share as we can, and then I can always look back at this and say, hey, this is where I was. This is what I was thinking at this time, because things can rapidly change as we go. So I appreciate all the kind thoughts, words, prayers, comments, and we'll just continue to carry on, my friends. A rainy night here in Ohio, but the weather's not bad for March.